Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And in this one, we have an EVELYNN who we're not following for some particular reason. Now we're following her. It's been a while since we have an EVELYNN. It was a mega carry video at the end of season 11. Meta has shifted drastically and she struggled to find her position. We do, however, have a very strong carry performance from someone who's been... hold on a second. We have a counter invade. This is... Okay, they just got 3-man Eid, so it's absolutely doomed. Okay, Korean server. It's not. It's EU West. But apparently, both teams wanted to invade. One team counter-invaded and called their bluff. Fantastic. So, if this happens to you, you're lucky. It doesn't always happen this well. But the game, as you can see, goes to 30 minutes. And importantly, the match history links to all these games are in the description below. So you can look at the gold graphs if you think I'm bluffing. The red team will literally be behind in gold. And they'll have to swing it back. And the EVELYNN is going to have to be the carry player. So these level 1s do not determine the outcome of a game. They should, but they don't always, and especially in low elo. So, Muay Thai abuser plus his team of goon squads, or just goons in this case, up and under, get counter ganked. The EVELYNN, however, with her support in the previous game that we tried to cover that didn't really work, runes on your screen now, went on an invade here as well, and placed a control ward. So this play does technically like those level 1... She likes the level 1s. Now, First Strike over Electrocute is obviously an investment into your late game, an investment into future income, and obviously having Futures Market as an assassin to get those itemization spikes sooner is always going to be better. And this will be something we discuss in depth, all aspects of jungling in terms of level 1s versus first clears and so on, all the way through to end game and carrying games in our bootcamp, so that those tickets will be linked below as well. I've covered that before on this channel, just letting you know. Tickets are still on sale if you want, well, basically 30 coachings for free. For one. But this EVELYNN case, this coaching, this is free. This is on YouTube. So we're going to go for the full clear. In the game that we covered before on stream, it ended up with a troll, so I cut it. She started blue going to the top side, and we talked very much about the importance of getting at least one gank early, right? Because if you full sequence, get a crab and gank, and then full sequence again, you're still not 6. So if you can get 2 crabs, maybe 2 ganks, opportunistically, obviously, you're not Rek'Sai gaming it, that's the best for a fast 6, but play things within the possibilities of what the game is, not what it should be. So we do have a Mundo versus Set mid lane. Obviously, they're swapping so that the Yasubi can deal with the, I don't know, this whatever that disease is called. I forget her name. She's so forgettable, right? Stitch these two together, very nice. And bot lane as well. Down, dead, gone. Jinx is fed. A fed Jinx makes you nervous, doesn't it? You can tell me in the comments. It's okay. We all get nervous from a fed Jinx, especially with Peel, especially with a Hecarim. Now in this situation, normally we would look to gank the side lane, considering we sequence top to bottom. You can't obviously do that if your bot lane is dead, but what we can do is just hold this a little bit. Don't auto push the wave like the player in the video last week, where he took the whole wave and the Jinx AFK'd. So just last hit it nicely, set it up for a given that CS. Akali now also kills a Yasuo, so you're thinking, well, hey, cool. We got a lot of stuff in the first rotation. Nice. And then you're going, oh wait, every lane has died except for mid lane. Hello there, post-recording editor Virkayu here, just to let you know that that is a mistake because for some reason I thought Yasuo was on the EVELYNN's team. Happens when your brain is tired. Obviously, Akali had not died and so is actually doing a very, very good job, but the set will die and that's basically what we're looking at here. Top lane doing fine, mid and bot not doing so hot. How do we play around it? If I say other things in the video about the Akali dying and losing, that's just wrong. So keep that in mind. Don't worry about it, don't force it, hold the wave, that's absolutely fine for your experience gain. Don't force the crab if you don't have prior forward. Don't fret, my friends, do not fret. You are farming jungler, you're EVELYNN, we're going to scale, we'll become the question mark that we've always wanted to be. Back to base, and now we can think about doing a second sequence. Obviously, in this situation, if you know the bottom crab is gone, and you know that that top crab is available, and your Krugs aren't yet up, this is where the meta shifted drastically. You could go and wait for the Krugs, but why? When we can buy a control ward, buy a blasting one, which is an absolute huge itemization spike, and flex into the top crab knowing that the Hecarim would have done this. I don't like this. You know, I don't like this. The dude has done a full clear into a bottom crab, right? And now ganked on the bottom line, ganked on the bottom side as well. Which means his second Grump is spawning at a time where he hasn't even reset, and the EVELYNN's going to be able to yoink it away. But he is going for the dive. Okay, so obviously this is looking doomed. For those of you, and I guarantee you that some of you thought, he always says that. He always says the game is not over, and then it is over. Well, of course it's not always black and white, but look. Your bottom lane is a very questionable entity at this point. I'm not calling them anything other than an entity. And maybe lizards. But Jinx is fed, Nautilus is fed, you're EVELYNN. Do not worry once more. Again, you have to be relaxed. You have to understand what your champion is, what your champion does, and how you win. Mundo pre-6 is a huge gank. Please, as much as you can, I mean, obviously that flash is huge. Would have been nice if we could have burned that flash a little sooner, but a pre-6 flash for flash on an EVELYNN is great. The problem with Mundo is he's going to be tough to deal with in general, but Set has CC. So Set can proc his passive, and your chump can then be a follow-up, and obviously does percentage damage. Yo. Sir, excuse me. Alright, good. Set has joined the Inters. Falls back to the blue side. Why? Because in this situation, bot lane is significantly far behind, and you know that Hecarim most likely lost his blue side. If he knew he lost his blue side, he's gonna go bottom side again. Look to make plays. So you can do your Wolves and Grump to protect him from counter jungling from the Hecarim. You can also do it to get 6 and shadow bot lane should something demand your attention, just in case the Vayne and the Janna get caught out here again, which they don't. We lose a dragon, obviously. There's nothing much we can do about that, okay? Don't worry about your top side, just protect your bottom side camps because they give you 6, and be present and shadowing should something happen. Now, we are 6, farming junglers, you gotta get on the map. You gotta use your ultimate, you cannot afford to wait. Yes, the guy who has a key is against the Akali, she's still 2-0-2. He has now died twice. Obviously, I probably confused that in the gameplay review, but that's fine. Akali is the one that's actually doing the work. Apologies to her. We all make mistakes. Now, Mundo is mid lane, he does have his ultimate. Without the flash, gankable. But you need to burn the passive, and obviously the ultimate is something that we need to focus on. We did look for top lane, Yasuo pulls off, which means most likely there's some kind of vision. This is important to note when you're in EVELYNN. Actually, no, this is something that's happening a lot. Even Challenger Heck remains, like in the video I just released on the main channel, you see here that he was walking very, very closely to the bush, not quite over the bush, or in the bush, and he was missing those control wards, and he was just being seen. It happens in high elo because of laziness. In low elo, it happens because of lack of discipline. So just really focus on them. When you're walking around the map into the rivers, walk through the bushes. Look at them. Press spacebar on your character. Don't always click top lane and walk through the wards. Look where your character's moving. Set is now followed down to the bottom side, anticipating some kind of mega gaming moment. We have here 3 people holding this tower, and EVELYNN is relaxed. See, look again. There we go. Okay, finally, good. We see it. We know that they see us, and we don't have fire in the mid lane, so you have to be very, very cautious about this. If you were going to still go and then invade, don't. Don't. We have now how much in the pocket? 1300, it's not ideal. Okay, Mundo is disrespecting it. Set is showing up again, inspired by Chovy. Hits that so we can get the full charm off. The ultimate is activated, but we will have our ultimate, plus his ultimate, very, very nice. We don't want to have to burn it if we don't need it, though. The idea is, yes, we need to go use our ultimate for sure, but we don't want to waste it. Don't waste it. Definitely kill the Mundo if he had flash, because you would have had the range, but that's very nice. Break the stun, sorry, break his passive, follow up with your full charm, which is great for a chunk. Stops the back there, but she's gonna die for that. But here we come, the long way around. This is 400 gold shutdown. See, now we have our ult, which is significantly... There we go. Okay, good. Run! Run, EVELYNN! Thank you, Vayne. Good job. Nice condemn. Very nice condemn. Okay, good. Woo! That's where electrocute is kind of good. You know, you can just ISO onto that Mundo with a lot of damage. You could, if it's still up here, you just melt the Jinx, you melt the Nautilus. That's where it's great. But in terms of our investment, will it tell me here? No, I have to click it down here. So that was well played. Good patience. I mean, not a lot of gold because we haven't really done much. That's the downside. You know, if you're not really doing much, you're not going to get as much investment, but you will, right? As these fights get better, you will. And Futures Market aids in that a little bit as well. Futures Market is really, it's the combination of Futures Market and First Strike that makes it so nice. The 10% damage amp is obviously good, but, you know, keep all of those things in mind when you pick this rune set over Electrocute. You lack a little bit of that upfront damage that's reliable always, which is why I think you can play like this in low elo. You can carry like this easily, right? This was master promos, no problem playing this in master tier, of course, but keep in mind, you're gonna lose things like dragons when your lanes are losing. You're gonna lose things like heralds. Obviously, Hecarim and the Akali is dead. We're not paying attention to that as much. That's fine, but you gotta make sure you understand how to rotate the map. Don't be seen for no particular reason, which is why it's interesting. You will see a lot of EVELYNNs in this particular meta start off with very high CSPM and a lot of counter jungling, specifically when Hecarim's are going bot lane, sequencing the wrong direction, and obviously taking objectives. You will get a lot of camps for that, right? I mean, we're up almost 30 CS here. The thing is, though, you need to understand when you are fed and when you reach those spikes, how do I actually then use it to carry the game? Because you're going to be innately giving things up when your team are struggling. When your team are struggling. Pull this out, burn it down to the ground. Mundo's not bottom lane. This is all dark. The problem for me is this whole map is dark. This is very frightening. Is there a control ward there? Is there one there? Is there one there? Is there one there? EVELYNN kind of gives you that reveal, if it is. So it's nice. It's easy to face check and sort of run by bushes to see. And also regular wards do nothing. So you yourself are a question mark. Okay, that's just... That's a little ham. Okay, but then Nautilus goes a little ham, and then Hecarim goes whoosh, and then Jinx is now diving the backline, and then Set does a weird, really ult. Okay, so we're able to kill the Jinx, which is fine. Okay, so results-based will tell us that this was always a good fight, but obviously that's thanks to our Set with the ult and the whole team showing up, and then Nautilus going back in when he shouldn't have. That was a little aggressive. She tried the self-made double lift flash combo out. Wasn't very clean, but it worked out in the end. So not a recommended fight at all, or at least a recommended fight, just not a recommended engage, but it works out for us. Good job to our team, right? But you have to acknowledge that it's a hyper-aggressive move, and if it doesn't pay off, you die. If your team doesn't follow up, if Nautilus plays a bit more restrained, you lose that fight. You lose a dragon, so be patient. Your windows will come. Your windows will come. And you can always flank around the edge. You know, if the whole team shows here, now you can move. The problem is if it's a question mark, you can't just walk into bushes to be face... Does anyone else hate Nautilus Q hitbox? It's like this wide. It's a tough champion to face. It's one of those games, I don't think it's quite necessary to do the original Banshee's Veil thing to block the crucial CC and magic resist, but it's one of those things where Banshee's Veil is really useful against that Nautilus. He's over pushing on the top side, make sure we punish that as well as best we can. Flash is burned. Is he staying? Okay. He just said, you know what, I'm gonna die, I might as well take some Krugs. Didn't work out for him. But always in this situation, in these losing games, when you want to 1v9 them, especially as a farming jungler who's, you know, perma-controlling and perma-sequencing, there's always gonna be someone over-pushing on a sideline, just make sure you deal with them. Akali does... Hey! She's not building the chem tank because it's pre-patch. Good. Good, because I was afraid that she was gonna build the chem tank and it'd be diseased. And then we'd sort of have the asterisk next to this video. But we don't. Good scans, clear the wards. Obviously with EVELYNN, it takes a lot of time to clear wards, so if Jenna can help us out, we'll just get a cheeky order. Free cash money is nice gold. 4-0-5. We're playing well. We're playing well. Apart from that flash engage, which is a little bit, you know, put me back in my seat. Move into the jungle, we have the blue timer. Obviously, we now need to focus on the fact that fortunately they're not going to get that Dragon Soul because of that sneaky Drake that we didn't really talk about too much. But obviously is a byproduct of our engage in fights. Back to base, what do we have? 2k in the pocket. We do have in the pocket, not bucket, pocket. I was gonna say rocket belt. We do now go for the Mejais. The Mejais here is absolutely huge. I do like it in these games. It's very clear that we're getting pretty much anything we want in terms of farm. It's very clear that people are gonna be over pushing vision lines. It's very clear that our team is playing restrained enough, and the fact that we haven't died, that we might be able to get a really good fight where that item then just makes us stronger and stronger and stronger in a fight. And when you're behind, if you're playing well, right, as a team, you're not physically behind, if your team is behind, you can afford actually to go with this. And I like it. Just be careful. You know, you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself to say, listen, I plan on scaling. Can move in and out to control the to clear the control wards. Everyone's mid lane. Jinx is now level 8. Vayne is level 8. Carly's are pushing the bot lane. This dude's on the top lane waiting for the set, or what is he? How close is he to 11 actually? Because this is huge. Because the second rank of his ultimate is big. So if the Yasuo's really close to 11 and the set's there, it's, you know, the 11 to 9 is a bit unfortunate, but he backed off. Another control ward. Isn't this the way? Isn't this the very way of everything? You know? Oh, wait. We got the slow. Hecarim goes in, so we pull back. That's fine. We dodge. The ultimate goes between the uprights. Hecarim goes way too deep, which means we can turn on him very, very nicely. Don't overcommit though. He does have the chem tank build, which means he's very strong. We flash and ult nothing. Wrong direction. Good misdirection by Hecarim. He does die to the Akali, which is great. Mundo's now chasing down the Akali. Set rotates up and says, hello, can I ult you against the wall? Mundo says, do what you want, I go where I please. And then, in fact, he doesn't go where he pleases. And Evelyn's, in the meantime, pushing the mid lane. Janna flashes, gets hooked again. We do the slow, we do the proc, we get the kill. Careful, there for the Jinx. Okay, and we live. So that was messy. Again, messy. But the Hecarim actually threw that. Decent, and then he just went way too deep for no particular reason. We talk about this all the time. I am a lover of exquisite team fighting and positioning. It's something I take a lot of pride in my own jungling and playing, because what you can make up for in mechanics in 1v1 senses where maybe you're insufficient or your champions don't really do a lot of good things, like maybe you're a tank, you know? You can make up for with exquisite target focus and positioning and engages and peeling, and I think it's such an underrated aspect of the game at the moment, which is why watching LPL and such things is always good. You know, those great team fighting teams, really fun to watch, where they stack spells and go in and out and know the cooldowns of each other's champions is not only their own. So if you're the EVELYNN in this situation, please understand that was great team fighting from her. A little bit of a mishap on the Flash ultimate. Hecarim did okay, but the Hecarim was abysmal. He lost the fight because he went too deep, got chunked, and then had to leave. Gave Akali a free kill. Now, see, in this situation, sorry, I'm having a fat chat about team fighting, I'm missing it. EVELYNN, flanking. Key, Vayne top, no TP. Whole enemy team here. She wants to an item and she wants to reset, okay? Okay? They've realized that Vayne's top, so they pull the trigger. EVELYNN walks around the backside, activates her full charm onto the Jinx, who gets passive procs and runs away. So you go into the backside and you kill what you can, ideally. Ideally, we have the Vayne with us. Ideally, we get to kill the Jinx. But at the very least, just don't int. Kill whoever you can, get out, play it safe. Right? Absolutely fine. Because you do have the measures. You do have the measures here, okay? We're 21. We have a needlessly large rod. We're getting juiced. We're getting fed. The most important aspect of this game, if you want to win it, is if you carry the game. And if you don't, if you make one mistake in the team fight, you will lose. You know those games, I'm always talking about this. 60% of games, you have direct control. You can win them, you can carry them. You will climb if you just win those games. Sometimes you will lose because you play badly, because you're a human being, right? Most of us are human beings. Wait, let's watch this. We got 3 in E at this point. The full charm is really good against the Mundo. The slow is less effective. Anyway, because we want to expunge it, right? Anyway, what was I saying? I got completely distracted by that Mundo fight and I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, the 60% of games that you can win, right? Yeah, you will lose some of them, but this game, it's not really part of those free wins that if you just play normally with a few mistakes, you win the game. No, this is one of those games, the 10 to 20%, that if you play badly, if you don't do the right thing, you will lose. It's on you, 100%. But it's a very strict game. You have to play right. If you make one huge mistake, you can lose, yeah? And that's what people lose in coaching. I always discuss this in coaching. There's 10% to 20% of games, it's unwinnable. People troll, people AFK, so what? Why do you give them power in your mind? In one ear, out the other ear. I forget you exist. You are nothing. You are nothing to me, right? That's the whole idea of those AFKs and trolls. We do have ult available. We are getting rooted under the tower. We do get ulted again. Hecarim speeds up and goes brrr. These ults, I'm not a fan. We're a little too aggressive. I like the idea, but their team comp is so tanky. We don't quite have the full burst damage just yet to really deal with them. We will though. But those 10% of games, forget them, right? These games are the ones. If you want to climb, these are the games you win. Where your team have struggled a little bit. Obviously, Akali, I'm insulted her by accident. Yasuo's on the other team. It's just where I got the replay from. And yeah, it's on you to carry the game. So these are the ones that get you through and over the humps. You want Master? These are the games you gotta win. Keep your head about you. Be patient. And don't make mistakes. Steal the blue here. This is nice because basically you want to make sure you can kite out, right? We want to steal the blue, but if they show up, I know how I'm leaving. Don't steal camps and blues and grumps and whatever the hell else you want to steal if there's no way out of a fight. In this case, she had flash if she really needed it. So we can try steal it if they show up. We leave. Oh, Jinx. Oh, Jinx. Oh, Jinx. Oh, man, that is unfortunate. So, as I was saying, if the Jinx felt like this was a game that she 100% had to win, That was not good. That's exactly what we're waiting for as an Evelynn. You're just waiting to make sure that we can pounce when they make an error. Good, good. Jinx, that was dumb though. That was really dumb. Hecarim too. Okay, here we go. Ult up in 1 second. She keeps trying to do it on Mundo. You can't kill him yet, man. You can't kill him. He presses R and you cannot kill him. Ah, oh, this is an exquisite game for no, it's a frustrating game if you're an Evelynn main, because if there were a whole team of squishies, you're just killing them already, right? You're just absolutely melting them. But some void stuff is going to do some good in this game, 100%. 100% some void stuff. It's going to be very, very nice. All right, so Akali split pushing. No one's really wanting to do anything. Jinx steps out, we kill her, cool, whatever, it is what it is. If you have itemization spike here, which of course we do with Death Cap, make sure we go back and get it plus Blighting Jewel. Don't waste too much time taking the Krugs, right? What do we need before this dragon fight? Death Cap, Blighting Jewel, 100%. Yes, we could use 14, but we can basically shadow some mini waves and get 14 very, very quickly. But you want to be prepared for this dragon to make a pick prior and to lay out the vision prior. Okay? So don't waste too much time on Krugs here. You could have actually maybe, but you never really know that. It's kind of a case of make sure you're ready and waiting in this position to capitalize. Careful. Careful. Okay. Hello, Mundo. We could have actually there, but Hecarim shows up again. We have to ult to safety again. We're playing the suction effect. Okay, Yasuo goes very, very deep. We have Janna plus Vayne, so we turn to Peel, interestingly. Good, very nice. Kali's now being chased down. Again, hooked. We can go back in here. Hecarim's very, very low. He's down 3 levels because of all the farming we've done, by the way. Hopefully what you've taken away from this game is the mid-game farming. You see how the Evelynn kept things going very, very heavily, and the Hecarim didn't. Jinx is alive, though. Ultimate Hunter means we can be a bit more loosey-goosey with our ultimate. All right, full charge is available. Mundo's already basically full HP. Jinx is gonna get reset. This is not good for us. This is very sad. I'm trying to make an educational video, and you Muppets keep doing stupid things. Happens though. Happens. This is probably more realistic for your reality anyway. When I mean the suction effect as an assassin, it means you do what the Evelynn's doing. You go in, you burn your ult, you try and rinse someone, you try and burn their ultimates and spells. Okay, flank again. Wait a second. Here we go. Out of position. 14 ult, 14 ult, 14 ult. Okay? We don't need to use W. We get free kills here. Yep, dead. Good. Good reflank. Good re-entry. Horrific discipline by the blue team. Excellent flank again by the Evelynn. 2 times. 2 times. Excellent pathing, excellent flanking. That's a free Baron. See? Patience. Make sure, no matter what happens in these fights, you don't die. So the suction effect. While they do Baron. She's going in, trying to burn ults, trying to burn CC, and then ulting out to safety so that the rest of her team can do stuff. And she can peel as necessary, reflank as necessary. That's what an assassin can do, but only if you survive. Blue Kayn, very good at this. I made this term up in 2017. The first video on my main channel to organically hit 10,000 views was exactly this. You just E in, you use your W, you use your Q, you burn all their spells as they freak out, and you just ult free positioning and safety. Mundo. Evelynn can now kill you, Mundo. We've reached the Evelynn endgame fantasy, which is better than what her endgame fantasy would be in lore. Because no one, it would feel like that, but in real life. Succubuses, man. What are you gonna do? Excellent. This is a spike. Now we are obviously gonna have void stuff in the pocket, and now we can go into things like Banshee's Veil. You can go things like Zhonya's Hourglass if you really need it. I don't really like it, but you can. Banshee's Veil is always a good one to block hooks and CC. If you feel like you want that Lich Bane for your extra E damage, you can. I don't think we really need it anymore. Raw AP is obviously better, and utility from Banshee's Veil is very, very nice, but it is something that people still like to go. In this case, I think Banshee's Veil is a better item for the hooks and for the CC. Now we can threaten big time with our charms. We've done good suction effects. We haven't been able to get the kills in the fights, but we've been able to bait the fights we want, then reflank and get the prior target kills. Excellent. Akali's done a good job as well. But again, we cannot break this tower, and this is where everyone struggles. You're a melee, squishy assassin who's camouflage. You can't just walk into a tower and hit it. You have to keep using your W here to zone, big time. Use a W for zone. If she walks up, you hit it, and she dies. So she has to respect it to a certain degree, yeah? We do have Mundo here walking into a trap, trying to cut them off. In this sense, it's kind of dangerous because they're too split, which means the whole team could just turbo fist them. Don't think it's possible at this stage because we're 5k ahead, but you never know. Okay, bottom lane needs to be pushed a little bit. We're just waiting, man. We're just waiting. We're just waiting. Absolute patience. Most important thing. I know you guys don't like this. I know you just want huge amounts of kills every second. You want to kill a second, but this is why low elo assassins don't win, because you just go in here impatiently and die. Be honest with yourselves now. Exactly. Patience. Yeah. They can't break this mid tower. It's diseased. And top lane in the meantime has been completely ignored. In this situation, you'd be better off trying something else, but unfortunately, Set is a very good team fighter for us. So this is... forcing the issue. Excellent corner positioning. Hecarim pushing too deep again. Gets rinsed with a Q. 25 stacks plus a void stuff means we can melt the Mundo at this stage. Kali goes in. We finally broke them. Using that camouflage, watch the Jinx. Good flash. Good flash. We just do not want to give Jinx resets. At all. Kali's now pushed to the bottom wave. Vayne will have pressure here. The beefy boys are down. Jinx is the threat. Excellently done. Again, patience is rewarded. You force them into just making a mistake of themselves. We dodge a hook. We do have rocket belts. But it'd be a little bit... No. You don't want to die. Oh, come on. This is it. Okay. Good job, Jana. I thought she got out. I thought she got out. I'm stumbling my words, man. Stumbling my words. Very, very good. This, my friends, is an excellent example of how you carry as EVELYNN in those low elo games where you feel like can't get a herald. You can't get dragons. Your teammates are not doing what you want them to do. No one's forcing engages and fights, or can't. The enemy team is playing with a lot of control wards, and you seemingly are stuck into how to carry a game. This is it. This is it. And it's remarkable patience and obviously a lot of flanking and understanding of your itemization and damage spikes. Level 14 Mundo now is of course really easy to deal with. The sets also have been quite funny this game. Ignore this bit. I mean, it's okay, but ideally, no. Ideally, we're alive for this. Okay, let's see what happens. They did kill 2 for 1, but the fact that the Hecarim is alive means you hope they don't do this. But I know for a fact, 99% of games, they're doing this, and the Hecarim's up, and the Hecarim's gonna get soul, and then Jinx is gonna get resets and barrel it down mid lane, and then you lose, right? Exactly. So just make sure in those situations, try not to die. That's the one mistake, though. If you make another one, you could look to throw this game very, very severely. So they're looking to group up here. Hecarim is alive, so he can steal it, but will he live through it, is the question. I don't know if they should force this. Okay, so Nautilus stuns and ults the set. He's going to use his W there to try and survive. Jinx is going for the resets AoE rockets. A lot of sustain there from the Gore Drinker. Hook, anyway, dies. Now there's 4 of the blue team. Unfortunately, Vayne is repositioning. Back of the pit is Akali here. Vayne now kills the Hecarim, who's out of position. Nautilus hooks again, going way too deep. Akali's able to finish it, because Hecarim, of course, is dead. Jinx is on the backline, AoE rockets. Mundo's going to kill... well, Jinx is going to kill the Akali, and EVELYNN shows up out of base and says, I'm going to clean this up, baby. That was fun, right? I enjoyed that. That was good. Absolutely realistic. This is a realistic game. This is not a Challenger Canyon game. Look at how he smurfed of them. Look at how he stood over them with his crown and destroyed all the mortals as the king of the jungle. No, it's just an every man's jungle game. I like it. Because this is exactly how you gotta carry this dirty, stupid games. And again, if your team doesn't kill the Hecarim and he smites it against Soul, like, you know, and your whole team dies, you can't complain because you were dead. Because we got overzealous looking for that. We got overzealous looking for that kill on the window. So, obviously out of base you want to directly rotate. Here in this situation, you gotta look at death timers, right? Kamikaze asked this on stream a few weeks ago, and he said, do you just try and end? Nah. Because, yes, Jinx scales. Yes, Mundo scales. Yes, you know, Yasuo can scale, but you guys scale pretty damn good as well. And you have a commanding lead at this stage. There's no real reason not to try end, but at this, there's no real reason to force an end, right? You can always fall back to the Baron, and if they overcommit chasing you here, you're EVELYNN, you just turn back into them. I think there's a lot of good assassin techniques that she's used here to copy, right? Not always the flash kills and the flash ults, but I liked the way she forced the team fights and used a lot of different angles to get the fights going anyway. And at the end of the day, 1 death. 21, 1, and 12, and it should have been 21, 0, and 12. And honestly, if she didn't int that kill, most likely they kill the rest of them anyway, get the dragon and end sooner. So there you go. An interesting game. Definitely one that was a bit everywhere. But I hope you enjoyed it and learned something. Assassin players, Evan players, please pay heed to the patience. It's very important. Don't forget bootcamp signups in the description below. Patreon has all your coaching signups and coaching VODs. Thank you very much for watching. Please do like, share, and comment if you did enjoy and learn something. Main channel videos exist. Please go watch them. They're different than these ones. Not better, just different. Okay? Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial.